Oh, here we are on today's episode of Working on Scott's Junk. So, we gotta put a thermostat in this car. 2004 Ford Focus, 2.0 liter Zetec. It's right there in that housing. I don't know what the deal is with this thing, but got warm out after winter here now, and if it's just sitting and idling, it's overheating no matter what. I gotta drive it just to get the temperature to come down on it. So, I'm gonna start tearing into her. It's like this line here has got to come off, and then this one here, and there's a few bolts on this housing, and it'll be out. So, let me get this camera set up and get at it. Come on. What I'm doing here. Basically, where this hose goes on here, I'm just prying it loose because they do get stuck on. Let's give it a wiggle. Have a catch can underneath. Catch your fluid. Alright, that's done there. Now we have, looks like, oh, for crying out loud, you quit dripping anytime. Okay. Now we got 1 and 2 bolts. It's a 10 millimeter. And there's a third one. Oh wow, I gotta grab a different wrench here. Oh, these here two are loose. There's a third one right here. grabbed another wrench here so I could have some leverage. There we go. Okay, so there's a third hose on this assembly yet, and it is this one right here, which attaches to the bottom of it over there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to unhook it right here so I can just fish the whole thing out without trying to weasel my hand in there and undo that clamp in there. And there's another one on the back side of this housing. I see a lot of lines going to this. There's another one back there, right there, coming from the back side to it. So, I suppose I'll have to get that one off now. Got this. That's nice. Got this handy dandy tool here I use for taking them off. Grip that tight, and it pinches on them, and it locks them into place so you can get them where you want, and you just push this to release it. You can see I got the clamp locked into place right there, and it's up out of my way, and I'm just going to leave it on there because it's the last hose anyhow, hardest one to get to. And then I'm just going to take my screwdriver and work around that a little bit, and it should be ready to come out. There it is, and there is an O-ring. This guy here goes in there like that. That's a tapered O-ring. One side's flat. Maybe it ain't tapered. Maybe it's just me. It's not tapered. Anyways, it just goes in there just like that. Hold up against the engine to seal it. And then right inside of here is your thermostat. And there is 1, 2, and 3. And there's star bits to get that out. Now I couldn't get a new gasket because nobody had one for days, so I reckon I'll be reusing the old gasket. Huh, ain't that some crap? Where's the rest of it at? Ah. Oh yeah, I checked the box, but I guess I didn't know what I was looking for when I checked the box anyways. Well, to be continued. So it's a day and a half later. Got what I needed. Even came with a gasket on it. So we should be good now. Went everywhere yesterday looking for the correct thermostat for this car. Nobody had one in stock at all. I had to have one ordered. Kinda can't believe it. Got 100 parts stores and nobody's got what you need. And I would have to say it's a pretty common car on the road. So that kinda sucks. But this is ready to go back in. Wanted to get a new one of these too, but it takes days to get one. And I don't have days, so we're just going to hope that this one here works. Just get the gunk off of it and slap it back in its place and hope for the best. I don't see anything wrong with it, so it should be okay to reuse it. Well, you came out of there, now you don't want to go back in, huh? There we go. Then the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to attach that last hose we took off onto that back fitting. I know you can't really see me do it, but you get the idea. And get my clamp out of the way. Okay. Now I can put my clamp back into place here. And release it. Done. Back hose is on. I got this hose back onto here. Now I just gotta put my little flat O-ring deal here in its place. Put my 3 bolts in, get it cranked down, and then just put this last hose on. So we gotta top it off with coolant and go from there. They don't give you much room to do anything here. Just enough. There we go. Put my bottom bolt in first, because that one there, a guy can at least get the thing started, and you can wee-wah it up and down to get the other ones straight into position. Don't thread it in all the way or you ain't going to be able to get your bolts in here. Just get your bottom one started. Just like that. I'm going to shut this off here, save a little battery, get those tightened up. We'll put that last hose on. Alright, 3 bolts are tightened up. Now just the main line here. And then there's this little guy. Goes on the top yet. But for now, get the main on. Alright, top her off with coolant. Take and let it run here for a while. I filled it up to the maximum on the jug, and I just checked for leaks around the area I was working. I don't see anything, so I'm going to close this up. I'm going to go take it for a drive and we'll recheck the coolant level. So I took the car around the block, which my block is quite a few miles. Everything seemed good. My coolant level's at the minimum here. It's okay. Checking for leaks right now. Not seeing anything. Get a better light. A little steam coming off to be expected, but not seeing any coolant leaking anywhere here. Everything seems good. Do I think you could get away with just taking those 3 bolts off the front of that housing? Yeah, I do. I do think you could just do it that way. But also, doing it that way, you can't really inspect to see if you got something in here plugging up, or who knows what, you know. Could be a crack in this housing or something goofy going on. So took the whole housing out and get a better look at things. But you can definitely still change the thermostat just by pulling that 3 bolts out and pulling that front piece off of there. So I think we're good to go. I'm going to let this idle, because normally that's when it would overheat, is once you was idling. I'm going to see what happens with it, but I think we're good now. So that's thermostat replacement on this car.